Dear fashion bosses, hey, this my two eyes. You have seen shaking. When I mean shaking. You know what that means, right? I said, let me come and gist you guys. I relate my experience with you guys. Peradventure, anyone has gone through what I just went through. Please, if you have experienced what I'm about to share with you, narrate your experience on the comment section. I'm narrating mine, and narrate yours. Someone else will narrate his or hers, so that we can put it together and learn from each other, because it isn't funny at all. Anyways, I got this job. I'm to work on some outfits. Albeit, I'm meant to use leather fabrics. This is me who hasn't used leather fabric to make an outfit before. Actually, it is my first time. This is the leather fabric. So, already, please pardon the noise on the background. It's just that I didn't want to do a voiceover, on this video. I wanted it to be really relatable, right? So I can't eliminate the noise you're hearing right now because it's from the next building and I don't have control over that. Pardon me, please, okay? So, like I was saying, I know fabrics are unique in each or their own ways. Different fabrics, different textures, different acceptability level to your sewing machine, given the texture of the fabric and all of that. But because the machines I have, this inclusive, and then other ones, including the manual, the black eggs, the way it was set, I'm able to use it to sew almost any kind of fabric to the best of my knowledge. Stretchy, scuba, sequins, name it. I've never had a challenge, okay, in using my machines to sew any kind of fabrics. Not until this one. So when this job came, I didn't actually think at it like as it was going to be a problem, okay. I never knew this would be an exception. So I've gone ahead to draft my pattern, transferred into the fabric, and then I was going to start stitching. Hey, come and see, we are pushing ourselves. You push me, I push you. Come and see. You drag me, I drag. We're just dragging ourselves. Leather fabric say, she will win. Mua say, I will win. So we kept at it, and then I had to call the work to a stop that moment and start thinking what I could do. So little ideas came here and there, and those ideas are what I think I should share with you. Okay, I don't want to keep those to myself. This idea is also applicable if you're working with some kind of stretchy fabrics, that would, likely give you problems. All right. Okay. So in no particular order, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to work with leather fabric, stretchy fabrics, with some little or no stress at all. Okay. So the first rule, I said earlier, in no particular order, okay, is I had to change. Okay, so the first rule actually is that you should note that, so this kind of fabric, there is a footer for it, okay? There is a footer for it. Howbeit, the footer is a little expensive. Now, even if you can afford it, it may not be available for us at the time, right? So what should you do if you find yourself in that dilemma? Hence this video. So the first thing is to look for a bigger size of needle. So, in regular, we have needles ranging from 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, thereabouts. But we stay mostly with 16 and 18, okay? Although I stand to be corrected, I'm relating my own experience, okay? I use between 16 and 18, depending on the texture of the fabric and depending on the texture of the fabric and the volume of what I am working on at a time, okay? But in this case, I had to go look for this needle. Okay, so this is a DB needle, right, which is regularly used by industrial sewing machine, right? DB needle. D for Deborah, B for Bravo, right? In case you don't know the name. And for the smaller machines, you use DP for them, okay? D for Brenda, P for production, something like that, right? So I had to go and look for this needle. I actually wanted to use a size 23, okay? But I couldn't lay my hand at a size 23, so I had to settle for a size 22. You can take a look. So the first thing, I'm so sorry about the noise, okay? The first thing is for you to change your needle to a bigger size. Now, one of the reasons why you should use a bigger needle is because, number one, the leather fabric is thicker, okay? Is thicker. The leather fabric is thicker, and you know you may want to double it if you're doing the fold, you know, you're sewing on the hem and all of that. So when you use a bigger needle, it easily penetrates. That is rule number one. That is number one. Number two, we're still on the needle. Number two, it is because you also do not want too many holes on your leather fabric. If you've tried working with leather fabrics and you've stitched on it and you happen to loosen the stitch, you would realize that the holes remains on the fabric, unlike the regular fabric that when you loosen, you don't get to see the holes because of the texture of those fabrics, right? So those are a few reasons why you should use a bigger needle. So that takes me to the next step that says that peradventure, okay, so let me turn this inside out, okay? Stay with me, guys, stay with me. I don't want you to go through what I went through. That is why I thought I should share this experience and then, you know, also share how you can walk through it with ease, okay? So for instance, you're stitching on the fabric now, and you know, in most cases, we want to pin, okay? We want to pin, right? So hold the fabric in place. We often like pinning. It's actually a good practice, right? When you're working with the leather fabric, please do not use your pin. The reason is also because you don't want too much holes on your fabric at the end of the day, so you don't use your pin. Now the question is, what should I use? That is where my clips come in play, right? So when I was going to stitch this, I had to clip the edge like this, okay? Just watch what I'm doing. I have to clip the edge with my clip instead of pinning, right? And it held the piece down in place for me, okay? So having said that, I'll take us to the next rule, okay? So the next rule is for us to tape the footer of our sewing machine. This is applicable either to your our regular blackheads, the butterflies, and the likes, okay? So the next thing is to use a paper tape, okay? So I cut my paper tape, right? And then I will tape the bottom of my footer. Just watch closely. You can zoom to see what I'm doing here, okay? And then I just tape the bottom of my footer like this, okay? But before I tape, let me show you what it looks like in the regular, okay? Let me show you what you will encounter in the regular. Don't forget that I've changed my needle to a bigger size, right? So you see, it's pulling the fabric together, okay? One of the reasons why that is like that is because the leather fabric is sticking to the footer, or what is regularly, this place is regularly called the teeth of this machine, right? I don't know the right thing for that. If you know, please drop it on the comment section, okay? So it's regularly or generally called the teeth, or this placement. This is the place of the machine. There is the teeth, there is the footer, you know, and all of that. So this part of the machine in general, right? The fabric is sticking to it. So because it is sticking to it, it will not enable it to move. You get that? All right. Hence, it's pulling the fabric together. So regardless of the fact that I've changed your needle to a bigger size, that still wouldn't work. You're going to encounter problems. So that will bring us to using a paper tape. So that will bring us to using a paper tape. So I actually tried using my masking tape, right? It didn't get to work because the back of this masking tape, the texture of it is almost looking like that of the leather fabric. So it didn't get to work. So I dump it, and then I went for this. So I just placed my paper tape under my footer this way. Watch what I'm doing. Like I said earlier, you can zoom so that you see, you have a proper view, right? So I placed it this way around about my footer. Okay, so this will enable me work a little, right? To enable me work a little, but maybe not so much. So let's experiment it, guys. Stay with me. This would really help. If it doesn't help you, at least you have the idea. No knowledge is a waste. You can transfer it to someone else who is in their need of it. You see, we are still encountering difficulties, even with our tape rule being taped to the bottom of the footer. How be it will work a little, but not as much. Now let me show you the more efficient one. So did I forget to mention that you also have to use a thread, okay? Not the regular thread, right? So I'm using this, okay? The what do you call it? The label is off it, so I can't really say what the name is, but I went to the shop where they sell tailoring materials, okay, and I was given that. So I said that to say that you also need to look for a thread that is a bit firmer than the regular, okay, so that it's not, the thread when you sew is not easily broken, okay. So you look for a thread, you go to where they sell tailoring material and tell them you want to sew on leather fabric, or even those guys that make shoes, okay. I approached one, okay, also, so he recommended. So you need a more firmer thread, okay, not the regular thread we use for our regular sewing. So that is another tip. And then for now, the most efficient tip for me, don't forget I am relating my experience, okay, is okay, so this is our regular paper stay, you know, our fusible interfaces, okay. So I just get a bit of it like this. I'm gonna show you. I get it. And then I'm going to place it on my fabric. Right? Now see. You see how easy it is sewing? You see? Very easy, very smooth, with little or no stress at all. The next efficient tip, a regular tissue paper. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a regular tissue paper. I bought this on 200 naira, so it also works very well. Now see this. You see how smoothly it is going, okay. So having said that, one thing you should note when you're using this method is, peradventure you want to top stitch on your piece. Now you know the paper stay, or the what do you call it, tissue paper, and cover the edge of the tip of what you want to top stitch. So what do? You ensure that you trim the paper stay, or if it is a tissue paper you are using, okay, you make sure that you trim it, okay, to be at the same level with the piece that you want to top stitch. This enables you to see properly the edge of the piece you want to top stitch. You see how smooth this is going, right? How smooth this is going, okay. So I've mentioned that, I want to recap and reiterate. I've mentioned that the first thing you should do is to either change your footer, okay, to either change your footer if it is available and within your reach, okay, and affordable for you, you change your footer. Secondly, you take the bottom of your footer, okay, if you're using the regular one like I'm doing right now. Thirdly, you get a more stronger thread, a stronger thread, okay. Fourthly, you apply the use of your tissue paper. Fifthly, you can use your paper stay, place it on it. I also mentioned that you shouldn't spin, but rather introduce using your clips in place of pin to prevent your fabric, your leather fabric, from having too many holes. And then lastly, you can also use your oil, machine oil. Okay, you can also oil your footer as you are working. This enables it to also sew seamlessly and smoothly. Okay, so hope this little gist was worth your while. Okay, if it did, please do well to subscribe to this channel for more tips. Tap on the bell so you get notification each time we drop tips like that, because we're going to be dropping little tips that makes life easy for us, especially for beginners, right? For beginners, because I know beginners are actually going through a lot, you know, and a lot of them, a lot of us, okay, we don't have people to speak with, okay, and as such we want to be there for them. All right, guys, I want to introduce to you our pants training. Okay, so we have a training that is ongoing right now, but it is strictly on pants. Pants means trouser. Okay, so let me say pants, trouser. I don't know the right word is either pants or trouser. So for better understanding, okay, we have an ongoing training strictly on pants, different kinds of pants. Okay, so guys, corset is not the only style there is to fashion designing. Yes, it is extremely trending right now, and we've also realized that in recent times, online tutors make so much emphasis only on corset design. Corset design is not the only design there is to fashion designing. Okay, so I'm not saying that you should not know how to make a corset. It's of great importance. Okay, it is trending, so please go ahead to learn how to do it. But do not forget other design that makes you a fashion designer. Okay, hence this training. Okay, so we have a detailed tutorial already made out for this training, from measurement to drafting to sewing. Okay, and from straight pants to palazzos to narrow palazzos to wide palazzos to pleated palazzos to wrap top, different types, to cargo bin, that's also known as combat, different types of pants, to circle pants, different types, guys. By the time you are done with this training, you will come back and thank more. Okay, so do well to register if you're interested. Just send me a message on the number you see right now on your screen, and the tutorials are extremely, detailed. Okay, so we've also realized that a lot of people don't flow well when you do use pattern to teach. So we have a lot of hand-free drafting as part of the tutorial video for better understanding. Okay, so do well to register for this pants training, and you will be glad you did. Okay, so guys, see you guys in our next video. Bye bye for now.